couple of pals were podcasting the other day. Wow, man, how's it going, guys? Welcome to show, boys. We're here. Sure as God's got sandals. We're here on Thursday night, and I'm joined by my good friend Nick and our other good friend Chadwick the Third is back with us. It's going to be kind of strange because we're not. Oh, I actually did not mean to do that on purpose. Like that was perfect.
Plug.
Yeah, but it's going to be a little weird because we're not talking about video games or Star Wars, unless Chad's been watching Star Wars. I don't know. But yeah, how you guys doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Not so bad.
Not so bad. You?
Yep.
We've been watching lately.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it. How about you?
I feel like we at least need to address the right eye squinting because even
I must just have like really strong right eye muscles. Yeah, like they're just you're not closing.
Yeah, I mean it's jarring. It's jarring.
It was hard, and then we didn't really discuss the intro very much, so like. Yeah, my eyes were closed, so I couldn't. I couldn't click on the song. And I was really hoping Nick was going to click on the song.
But in reality, they weren't closed because the right eye was open.
Still open.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was okay, and you got it.
Yeah, so that was fun. But yeah, before we get into it tonight, we have a little news to go over first. Next week is a big episode for us. It's number 50. Though if we're gonna get technical, let's get technical. It's actually over 50, but our Thursday night episodes. This will be episode number 50, which is kind of a lot of episodes. So we're kind of excited for that. And we have an announcement to make next week, which hopefully will be cool. We're hoping it's cool, and we have some comments already. Under Fun and Scientist hits us up with the lol, and then
just laughing.
Yeah, out loud, bro. Don't forget. And then Dr. Disrespect, Michael Janis says, show boys. Well, I hope we didn't scare you. Under Fun and Scientist. That's amazing. Thank you. But yeah, so make sure you tune in next week. Hopefully we'll have something fun going on. We're trying to think of something fun, but we really don't know what to do.
We thought of a lot of fun things to do. So many that we don't know what to do.
Yeah, so we might not, maybe we won't even have an episode next week.
No episode.
Yeah.
Just can't figure it out.
Yeah. We'll just play the theme song 50 times in a row.
If we had a copious amounts of time, we could stitch together a 2-hour highlight reel to play.
Yeah, we would need about 1,000 hours to go through all of our content, unfortunately. But yeah, so make sure you tune in next week. It'll be real fun, hopefully. And we have a nice little announcement. And then on top of that, you may have noticed, if you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, you may have noticed that here for the last, I don't know, what would you say? Definitely week, maybe 2 weeks, Nick. We've basically had some sort of content come out, whether it be a stream or a video upload or something, but almost daily at this point. Nick and I have been dabbling with streaming our gaming sessions. Nick's been pumping out some cool like recorded Civ videos, which have been neat. I've been streaming Pokemon Unite when I'm able to. So yeah, just make sure you keep an eye out for that kind of stuff. I think that's something that we both enjoy doing and will probably continue to do. And yeah, there might be more news on streaming and Showboys a little later down the road as well.
Boys.
Yeah, boys.
Showboy boys.
Buddy boys. Underfunded says that would be golden. I'm thinking he's talking about the theme song 50 times in a row. And then he also says we need to play Muck sometime still, which yes, you are correct. I believe that's a free game on Steam. If I'm
It sure
remembering
is.
right. He's been going ham on trying to get me to play Muck, and I'm too addicted to Unite. Oh no! Do you see that?
Yeah, what is it?
$3 light strips from
That's why
Walmart.
Oh, no.
my light strip.
Fancy
Let's
backgrounds falling apart.
this-
That's why you
this
got to
is
go with
just-
the open door.
Yeah,
Nothing's
this is-
happening back
this
there.
is just awkward, guys. I'm so sorry. Unbelievable. Just
The creepy
that back up there.
Chad dark
Yeah.
door.
You have
Yeah.
no idea what's back there.
Slender Man. Just
Slender
waiting. But yeah, we Light straight tried to commit Sudoku. Yeah, loves those Sudoku puzzles, bro. Yeah, so what are we talking about tonight? What's watching? Catching each other up on what we're watching, I believe.
Yeah, lightly themed what's watching. Very light.
It's kind of just a general hangout sesh with the Chad. The Chad.
the Chadski. The
Chad.
Chad skirt.
The
I
third.
have to change it to the Chad instead of Chadwick the third.
Yes,
the
the
Chad.
Chad.
The one and only. No, but yeah, I think what prompted the light theme and at least what's watching catch up is Mike and I happen at the same time to be touching back basically on a show, a piece that we've meant to get to for a long time. Each two different shows. And we're finally watching them. I've had this one on my docket for probably 5 years. I don't know how long yours, Mike, you've been slated to watch that.
Actually, I haven't been. I've always kind of put it off, kind of like Chad.
Yeah,
we were
that's what I
talking
mean.
about earlier.
Yeah.
Where I was like, I don't think I want to watch that because I don't think I'll like it. And then one of my
Wrong.
one of my buddies like, you got to watch it. I was like, all right. And then I watched it, and I was like, he came over and hung out, and he's like, we got to watch the first episode. And I was like, okay, we'll watch the first episode. And after the cold open, I was like peeing my pants on the couch. So I was like, okay, you convinced me. But yeah, it was kind of like both shows that we were kind of a little late to the bus too, right?
Yes, sir.
So it's kind of an interesting idea for an episode. Talk about shows that have been out for a while that you just kind of discovered and kind of wish that you had known about from day one. But yeah, Chad, do you have any? I mean, do you even watch? Do you own a TV, or is it just like for
Seeing
your
how you
PlayStation?
play every game 3 times at least, 100% through, I don't know how you could possibly watch TV.
Yeah, so for me, like watching TV is like a bedtime ritual where I like get in bed and watch my iPad. So I mean, it takes like it takes me being like extremely tired to not play a game and watch TV. So, but that being said, I watch a fair amount of stuff. So yeah, I know it seems like I have like an exorbitant amount of time to just do all this stuff, but I don't really know where it's coming from. Probably because I don't do anything else.
Yeah,
but
you just don't sleep. You
don't
just do
sleep.
everything else.
Yeah, sleep's kind of overrated.
Yeah.
So I mean, right now, personally, I don't have a show that I'm just getting to, but I have a couple that I did get to way late that I'd like to talk about.
Nice. Cool. Well, this should be fun. I'll just start out just real quick so our pal Jordan doesn't get mad at me. But
Who cares?
before we get into my main show, I have also been watching Stargirl on the side,
Stargirl.
which is you know, a DC superhero show. It's a CW show, so you know it's on par with like The Flash or Arrow. I'm watching on HBO Max, and there's one season out, and I think the second season comes out sometime this year. But we're kind of running out of time, so if it doesn't come out this year, I think probably spring of 2022. I could probably look it up while one of you guys are talking. But as far as like CW hero shows, it's pretty good. It's definitely dealing with heroes and villains that are probably not as widely known to just mainstream hero followers, you know. So kind of something akin to like maybe a Doom Patrol on HBO or something like that, where you're following the Justice Society of America, and that includes Stargirl and a bunch of other heroes that probably nobody's ever heard of. But it's been pretty good. It's campy, and it like really sometimes leans into the camp and the cheese, but that's kind of to be expected for a CW show, to be honest. But it does have Luke Wilson in it, and he's pretty good. I enjoy him.
Wow.
But yeah, wow, exactly. But it's been good. Jordan, who's been on the show quite a few times, loves this show, which I don't know what that really says about Jordan. But
yeah, I think we need to have an episode just diving into what Jordan considers like a must-watch show.
yeah, well, it's Stargirl, because he's been trying to get me to watch Stargirl for probably since like last Halloween, and I'm not joking,
Really?
because I think
Yeah,
right around Halloween, because we had him on for the first time around Halloween last year, and we went and got some food together, and I think he was telling me about it while we were getting food. So it's been a long time, or if it wasn't that night, it was like shortly after. But yeah, finally got around to watching it, and it's pretty good. If you like superhero stuff, like really like superhero stuff, you might as well watch it. It's not terrible, but you know,
I've always wanted to watch those shows, and I've never really been too interested. But the new, I don't know if it's a new trailer for Titans that has Red Hood in it. I was like,
season 3 just came out.
Yeah, so I might get on Titans because I love that entire story. So
Titans is really good. It's probably
the best out of all of them.
Yeah, out of all of the non-Disney Plus hero shows,
right,
Titans is probably the best.
Yeah,
the CW ones are they're just kind of lame, you know.
Yeah.
They're lame,
but
really talking it up there.
I still haven't watched the Swamp Thing show, and that's still because like I'm still depressed that it got canceled before the first season was even over. Because Swamp Thing is like one of my favorite, comic runs in New 52, and I got so excited when they announced the show, and it looked amazing. And like 3 episodes released, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's canceled." And I'm like, what?
Yeah,
big rip.
So I've literally just straight up been putting it off because I'm like, I'm gonna love season 1, and then that's all I'm gonna get. But yeah, out of all the hero shows that aren't on Disney Plus, I would say Titans is probably the one I would recommend the most, and it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I kind of get the itch because I was watching. Can't remember what I was watching. Somebody playing Arkham City. It might have been BioCiv actually. Is he playing Arkham City? Yeah. So I was watching him, and it kind of got the itch to go back and play that because I never played it. And then I saw the trailer like on Facebook, and Red Hood was in. I was like, oh okay. And then Nightwing and stuff. So I mean, maybe is there like a streaming service that they're on?
It's on HBO Max.
Yeah, you're right.
All
Warner
the
Brothers
DC stuff is on HBO Max. So a couple comments get through. Unfunded Scientist says, for real though, we could all download Muck and play together. That we could, sir. I promise. At some point, I will download that game and try it out for sure. And then, speak of the devil, BioCiv says, dude, I watched an interview with the Man vs. Game last night and the Titans. I'm ready to start that show. It's a good one, bro. Recommend it. And then Michael Janus. I hope I'm saying your last name right. Anyone
Good
familiar
enough.
with Castle Rock? I have heard of it, have not watched it, but Nick, have you seen Castle Rock, or maybe Cody was talking about it, or I,
think
feel
Cody-
like someone's talked about
Someone
Castle Rock.
talked about that. I looked it up just now. I remember seeing the trailer for this, and this actually looks cool. And it makes sense that Michael here would watch it. It has a axe on the front page and looks to be about murdering people.
Yeah, it's like a psychological horror thing. I think I maybe started watching this. There's only like one season or maybe 2 seasons of it.
What's it on?
It is
on Hulu.
On Hulu, yeah.
Oh, it's by Stephen King, book by him.
Yeah, settings and themes and characters from stories created by Stephen King in the fictional town of Castle Rock, Maine.
Add it to the list.
Yeah,
Watching that semi
sure.
soon in the next year, hopefully.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a. I mean, we're getting close to October.
Right. That's a great October show, I would imagine.
Expand our spooky October playlist on YouTube. Go check out it ASAP.
He says it was canceled for some reason.
Ooh. So yeah, that's like the Swamp Thing. Another good looking show that people wanted to watch.
It's odd how that kind of stuff happens though, because I can't remember we talked about this before, but like the same thing happened to Jericho.
Yeah,
it was like it had like a big follow. Well, I wouldn't say a big following, but enough for them to bring back a second season.
Mm-hmm.
You know, enough people complain. So I don't know. It always annoys me when they do that, especially when like Swamp Thing, like at least let the season play out.
They didn't even give it a chance.
Because there was a couple shows I can't off the top of my head. I can't remember. I think it's about a serial killer in Los Angeles, and it was like on a local channel. And I'm kind of like mildly obsessed with Los Angeles and serial killers, so it was like right up my alley. And they didn't even. It was like 3 episodes or 4 episodes. They canceled it, and then eventually the entire first season came onto like Hulu or something. So I got to see it all, but it wasn't finished because they weren't expecting it to get canceled.
Right. So I looked up Stargirl season 2 actually started on August 10th. So 2 days ago, season 2 started. Yeah, Castle Rock. Somebody, I don't remember who, but somebody has definitely talked about that on our show before.
Lisa made it a couple seasons here per Michael.
Yeah, yeah. He says they canceled it within like 2 or 3 seasons. Underfunded says Raising the Bar had a really good 2 seasons and got canceled. It was like a lawyer show. Yeah, man. Sometimes shows, they just get the axe. Sucks.
Yeah. Wicked City was the show that I was thinking of. It was canceled after 3 episodes.
Nice.
Dang.
Yeah.
Did it have more than 3 episodes or like?
Oh yeah. They released it. I can't remember if they released it like to buy on iTunes or release it on Hulu or something obscure like that. But yeah, I think there were like maybe 20 episodes, 12 episodes.
Nice.
But like if you got to assume that it's already made at that point, right? You already spent the money to make it. It's not like they're making it week to week. So what is it really doing that much damage by putting it,
Right. Yeah,
I hope they cancel that Lord of the Rings show after the first season.
They just don't even let it air at all. Just
billions.
$500 million.
Right there. Oh, well, we spent all this time setting this up. Never mind.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Got to go to space.
Yeah, exactly. And then Michael says, don't watch many shows in general, but man, it was worth a few seasons it had. I feel that.
Hope it ends on a cliffhanger and it's never going to get resolved. Same thing with The Thing. I hope that ends with a cliffhanger and was the best show ever. And Mike gets brutally let down.
The Thing.
Or Swamp Thing?
Swamp Thing.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Sorry, The Thing is a thing, isn't it?
That is a thing.
Yeah. And
I don't know if it's a show,
Swamp
but
Thing.
it's definitely a thing.
It's a movie.
But yeah, Swamp Thing, man. What a dude. I'm telling you, if you guys like comics at all, highly recommend the New 52 run of Swamp Thing. It's so good. So good.
You've definitely mentioned that before, too.
Yeah, bro.
So not to totally derail the episode before we
it's
even
already
started,
been derailed.
Yeah.
But what is New 52?
Okay, so New 52 was a recent well, I shouldn't say recent anymore. I forget exactly when it started, but it
I
was
know
like
Arkham Knight had New 52 suits in it, so it was a while back probably.
Yeah, it was like the maybe 2010s to like 2016, 2017, but it was basically like a reboot of the DC universe in the comics, basically. And then that ran for a handful of years, maybe like 4 or 5 or 6 years, maybe a little bit longer. I'm not like the most comic savvy guy, but I really got into the New 52 stuff.
So
And
does it
then
like take place on a different Earth and stuff, or is it like a
it was
different?
just kind of like a reset,
Just a reboot.
yeah, just
okay.
kind of like a retelling of the heroes and all that stuff. And then that kind of led into what they called Rebirth, which was again kind of a similar thing. And then Rebirth led into I forget the name, but I think it's what's currently running right now. But New 52, I liked a lot of the New 52 stuff I read, and the Swamp Thing in particular is awesome. It's like a really cool combination of horror and superheroes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and then you have like the Dark Justice League Dark, which is awesome. But yeah, anyways, I suggest New 52.
Yeah, I
It's
might
fun.
check it out because I'm like kind of itching for Batman a little bit. And now The Long Halloween is out.
Mhm.
The animated movie part 1 and part 2, I think, just came out. So like really that's my favorite graphic novel of all time. So
Oh yeah, here I gotta throw this up on the screen real quick, because I'm rather proud of this, but it's also kind of super.
And this is where we start
super
watching
dorky.
Mike play Unite.
Yeah, this is actually Pokemon Unite. No, so when I got into New 52, I made
Nerd.
I made a Google
Nerd
sheet
alert.
of like all the New 52 books, and it's separated by hero. So all these 10 are heroes, and these are their books over here, the trades. And then yeah, I made this whole thing. It
Wow.
took a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like it took a long time.
And then Batman has his own tab because he has all these books just himself. But according to my spreadsheet, New 52 looks like it started around 2011 and ran to 2017. So yeah, it's about a 6-year run.
Wow.
But
Put
yeah,
the thing in dark mode. It's blinding my eyes. The yellow in the background, the yellow highlight, like it's messing with me.
I'm just trying to wake you up, bro.
No, I'm going the other way. I'm going to sleep.
But yeah, so enough about that. Why don't
What were we talking about?
I don't know. But
Something about like shows we were watching.
Oh
or
yeah,
Oh yeah,
that's
yeah.
right.
What are you watching?
What am I watching? No, what are you? What's Chad watching? Let's start out with Chad.
Yeah, Chad. What do you watch?
Yeah, we
Mr.
might
I
as well
don't
get-
watch shows.
We might as well get this disaster out of the way because I'm all over the place. Okay.
You
Okay.
watch exclusively people playing video games. That's what you
No.
watch.
No,
Chad.
never. Believe it or
Chad's
not.
show is Sekiro.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Just him playing that.
I'd be all over it. I'd be all over
Your
it.
replays.
Just replay
Yeah, he just
28th
records
playthrough.
himself
And just
playing it and then
watches it.
Oh, that was a good number 4 playthrough.
Oh, yeah. It's great. Classic. 10 out
So
of 10.
yeah, believe it or not, I don't really watch streamers outside of BioSiv, and I really didn't watch any streamers until he came around. So,
Shout out.
however, I do watch quite a bit of shows, but I'm very bad about finishing shows.
You're just
So-
like my wife.
So yeah, and we talk all the time that I'm really a slave to my kicks. So if it like doesn't fall into the kick I'm in, it's not working for me. So right now I'm like kind of in like an anime kick. So I started Death Note, which is really
Very
fantastic.
nice.
I also started watching Demon Slayer, which is another anime that's really good. And then this is kind of one of those shows that I never finished, which is absurd because it's like 6 episodes, but I started watching Chernobyl again.
Ooh,
And-
nice.
I
and I
haven't
think-
finished that either. So I feel
Yeah, and I loved it when I watched it. And I think I like didn't finish the last episode or something really weird, but it had been so long. I was like, I might as well go back and watch it. But I loved it. I think all the Chernobyl games at E3 reminded me like, oh crap, I got to go back and rewatch
Yeah.
that show. So that coupled with the two animes. That's, I'm really all over the place. And like the other day I watched Rurouni Kenshin movies, which are really, really good. It's another anime, but they're live action movies that they made off of the anime. And they're like, they're Japanese to the core, If you can't stand watching subtitled movies, I get it, because I really can't either. But they have a dub, which sometimes can be far worse than just reading it. So, but the really, when it comes down to it, I feel like, especially in these movies, the Japanese just have like sword fighting and action down. It just is what it is. Like the action scenes in these movies are absolutely killer. I mean, it dwarfs anything that, American wise, I think personally. So that's my all over the place what I'm watching right now. I don't really have anything I'm set on.
Have you appreciated yet that Death Note is just like a very, very long one season thing?
Yeah. I'm like on episode maybe 12 at this point, because I was like bouncing all over the place. I think there's like 30 something episodes. I made the mistake of watching the movie first, the live action Netflix movie.
Oh,
and I didn't hate it. I mean, it was good. I think the anime is like vastly superior in every possible way.
Yeah, I avoid live action anime adaptations unless someone tells me it's really good, and I have yet anyone to tell me any of them are very good.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm here to tell you that the Rurouni Kenshin ones are very, 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 very good, and they're not. You know how like some anime they really lean into the anime where it makes it like kind of a crappy live action movie because it's just very Japanese and anime. So these are not like that whatsoever. So it as far as the live action adaptations, the best I've ever seen. Death Note was good. I didn't appreciate that they kind of Americanized it and put them in like an American school, and that to me is like, Japanese high school is like the thing to stick to. It seems like every anime or every other anime has Japanese high school students in it. So for you to make a live action movie off of a very popular anime and then make them American and make it take place in the United States felt weird. But it was a good movie. I wouldn't say that I hated it, but the anime is way, way better.
So BioCiv comes in, says Death Note is my favorite of all time. Big anime guy here, cartoons in general. Yes, can confirm. He makes a lot of Facebook posts about that.
Yeah.
Michael says, God, I'm going to be all over your Halloween posts. Lamau.
Lamau.
BioCiv's going loose on you,
BioCiv's going ham.
Yeah,
Chad, if you haven't, I'm sure you have by now. Attack on Titan.
Yeah, I actually haven't, and I really want to, and it always sits there, and I always want to get into it, but the time will come. I'll eventually get into it. I guarantee it. But I hear it's fantastic. So. Yeah,
especially if you like being yelled at.
Well, that's pretty
Very
much any anime that you're gonna get yelled at.
BioCiv also says Gantz is a very good live action. Also,
I never heard of Gantz.
Chad.
School of the Dead, yeah. Yeah, so this all kind of spurs off me replaying Persona at the current moment, so that's why I'm on the anime kick. But it's like, kind of getting dry at this point. So I'm going to move on to something else. And
starting to feel like a high school Japanese
I wish, but no, I'm kind of just getting bored.
Ray.
Ray, shout out.
So the new Rurouni Kenshin movie just came out, and I haven't watched it yet. And my oldest son and I watch the past couple ones together, so I'm waiting for him. This one I might have to vet beforehand because it looks ridiculously violent. So just to lay the groundwork for those movies, it's basically an assassin in feudal Japan who turns his back on killing people and carries a reverse blade katana. So a katana that won't kill somebody that he attacks with it. So they did 4 movies, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then they went back. The final movie is the beginning, back when he was an assassin. And obviously even the scenes that you see in the earlier movies are very violent when he's doing that. So I was like, maybe I should watch it, but I kind of like watching it with him.
Yeah.
So it's weird. And that it's kind of a slippery slope with anime as far as, because I don't know if Japan has like weird rules with their violence in children, because
Yeah.
I looked up Demon Slayer to see if Brady could watch Demon Slayer. They're like, yeah, it's a yada 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 anime made for 10 and above. But then like 3 episodes in, it was like there's blood everywhere and bodies, and I'm like, okay, well, this is odd. But so you would think it'd be the other way around, where they're like really strict with that stuff in Japan, and it seems to be
Right.
quite the opposite. And I'm curious of what that comes from.
Yeah. Michael says, sounds like PG-13. I actually have a funny dub story. I watched La Casa de Papel, or Money Heist, on Netflix, and I don't like subtitles, so I dubbed it. And I take it you've watched the show, or
I've heard that it's very, very good, but I did not know it had a dub, so I never watched it.
No, it is pretty good. But there, one of the characters in the show had like the most ridiculous laugh ever. Like it sounded so fake, and like, so I was like, wow, they even like did the worst laugh ever in this dub.
Right.
Like, ridiculous. No, that was not like overdubbed. That was the dude's like legit laugh.
Oh, really?
Like,
oh,
I've
wow.
looked up YouTube videos of like the non-dubbed version and just him and other stuff, and it's just like, I don't know how to explain it if you haven't heard it, but it's it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say that the dubs in these movies, the first 3 at least, are not good because they use the anime voice actors, which sounds cool that they use the anime voice actors to voice over the dub, but it's just not. It just doesn't work on live action. You know, it's very over the top. But by the 4th movie, the most recent one that's come out, I think they got the message like, hey, you need to like tone it down a bit. Yeah. So it's very easy to listen to the dub on the 4th movie.
Nice. Chernobyl. So I started that with the wife, and we watched 2 episodes, and it's way too slow for her. She's not a fan of it? No, I haven't. It's like we've started a handful of shows that like we'll watch a handful of, and then she just gets bored, and so we move on. And now I need to go back and finish because I'm a completionist in like every sense of the term.
Right. I'm kind of the opposite. So my wife and I think I might have shown her or introduced her to Chernobyl, and then she surpassed me and finished it before I got a chance, and then I just forgot about it. So
we started the Lacey Peterson documentary on Hulu, and both were enjoying it, but we never finished.
Right.
We started Chernobyl, haven't finished. There was another show that we started. Oh, Sweet Tooth, which I was really digging on Netflix.
Yeah, that Kirsten and Brady, I think, watched that and said it was really good. I haven't got around to it though, but I heard they said they loved. I mean, they finished it like a day and a half. So
yeah, no, I enjoy it. But I haven't finished it because she's like, I don't want to watch it anymore. And I'm like, add it to my giant list then, I guess.
Right.
I really do want to go back and watch Chernobyl because what I saw
was really good. Yeah,
it's
really good, and it gets me excited for The Last of Us because I think that either director or showrunner or something for Chernobyl is
signed on. That Mezin dude, Craig.
Right, Mezin, and I think the casting they did okay on. So it makes me excited for that. But Chernobyl is, you know, I don't know the accuracy of the show. But if that's really how it went down, I mean,
so
like, wow.
Along the way, like what kept my wife's attention was she liked it because she was like, this is crazy. Like, did this really happen? I'm like, more or less, yes, this is what happened.
Yeah.
Though it is a little, sorry, it's a little Americanized, in like, the Russians are idiots and like they made this really bad thing.
Exactly.
But like
that's the best way to describe it.
When it like blows up. Right, and there's like the radioactive bits that they were like around, like that's super exaggerated and like things like that for dramatic effect. But
I mean, like that first episode, man, when the firefighters go in and they like grab the block and then they're like all like, I thought it was really well done. I don't know that I know too much about the actual thing. I've read like some obscure facts about it, but I'd be interested to see on like scene for scene how accurate the actual
Apparently, we
movie is.
can go there now, right? Can't we take a field trip, go to Chernobyl these days?
I don't think so. No,
Is it probably not?
no, probably not.
I actually don't know why I talked like that.
Yeah. And I've seen like enough Chernobyl horror stuff to know that I don't really ever want to go there.
Yeah, I'm okay.
I'm good.
No, yeah.
I'm good. I'll watch some documentaries and dramatized
Yeah.
recreation of it.
So Jared Harris, who is like the good guy plant worker, and Adam, I'm probably gonna butcher his last name, Negatus, who I think was like, well, okay, so I've only seen 2 episodes, so he was like the main firefighter dude.
Yeah, right.
In the 2 episodes that I watched, they're both in The Terror season 1. And that show is fantastic. And Jared Harris in particular in The Terror was amazing. So
after The Terror, I basically will watch anything with Jared Harris.
Yeah, dude, he's so good.
So what I've never heard of The Terror. What's The Terror?
It is a show that was on AMC. I don't know if they're doing any more seasons. I hope so. But it's an anthology, a horror anthology show. You can stream on Hulu.
Yeah.
The first season, I don't know if they planned on actually making it more than 1 season. But the first season follows a British Arctic expedition to find the whatever strait, like passageway for the trade route from wherever to wherever, and they kind of get like frozen in the water,
stuck in the
and
ice,
like based off of an actual historical event of those 3 ships that actually happened. And it's kind of been like a mystery of what happened to the crew, because not really much was found. They found like the ships, at the bottom of the ocean and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it's based off a book, and it's really interesting because there's a lot of historical accuracies to like the actual expedition and kind of the mystery of what happened. But then it's a show, so they add a bunch of cool like stuff that's weird. I loved it. Season 2 was okay. But season 1 was really, really strong, and Jared Harris was really, really good in it.
Yeah, I mean, I like anthology stuff. So, have you guys ever watched Black Mirror?
No, never heard of it.
Oh man, okay.
I'm just kidding. I love Black Mirror.
Okay, I was gonna say that's like totally unacceptable. So, that's really what kind of got me into anthology series like that. And I don't know what happened to that show. I don't think it got canceled, but it's been like an extremely long time since they released like 4 episodes. That could be true.
It's probably too depressing.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you,
these days.
I think the bad. Nick, have you watched Black Mirror?
I've seen select episodes.
So I think the problem with that show is the first episode is the pig episode. So people watch the first episode and are like, what are we watching? What
they opened it. They opened it just like with a banger,
dude.
But I mean,
the biggest.
Yeah. So I think that's the issue, because even like a couple guys that I recommended to it at work were like, "What? No, watch that first episode." I'm like, "Here, listen, you just got to keep going, because it gets, I don't think they grasp that every episode's different. Yeah. So they're thinking it's just going to continue that same story, which I'd probably back off of too. But
it's amazing because when I found that show, like, it was one of those things where, excuse me, I was just like, it was like 11 o'clock at night, and I was whenever I find it's too late to start a show, but it's too early to go to bed, I'll just like browse through a streaming service and populate my list, right?
Yeah.
Find something to watch. And I was scrolling through. I'd never heard of Black Mirror at all, and I just saw like the thumbnail on Netflix, and I was like, "Oh, what's this?" I read the description. I was like, "Oh, it's sci-fi-ish anthology series. Okay, we'll give this a shot." Turn on the first episode, and I'm like,
"Yeah."
It's like a freaking train wreck. You can't. You literally cannot look away, and the entire time I'm like, why am I watching this? Like,
Right,
what is
right.
going on?
Yeah. So I mean, I was kind of fortunate enough to know that it was an anthology series before I started it, and then I
Mhm.
looked up like the best episodes. So I never went in order. So the very first episode I watched was "Shut Up and Dance," which is the one where he gets blackmailed for
Yeah.
doing something in
Yeah.
front of his computer, and it's
Mhm.
got like one of the best twist endings of any episode of any show of any movie.
So
It
good.
like totally blew me away. So you know, it's filled with a lot of like really really highs and really really weird lows. You know what I mean?
I
But
feel
they're
like though,
fun.
if you start with that first episode, like it makes, I mean, it's a very heavy show, right?
Yeah.
And it's
Oh, for
like I
sure.
definitely would not recommend binging it. Like that's
Right.
one where you
Right.
take it like an episode at a time for
Yeah.
your own mental health.
Yeah.
But once you watch that first episode, it's like, well, I've already seen that. So
Right. Right.
like
It can't
I
get
mean
any
the rest
worse.
is pretty rough, but not
Yeah.
that rough.
Route that rough.
So,
Yeah. I mean, until you get to like the I think it's on the newest season. And let me look up the name. It's
but yeah, that one that you talked about, the Shut Up and Dance or
oh,
whatever,
that's
that one
probably my
was
favorite.
that one's pretty rough
I
too.
mean, yeah, it's rough. It's definitely rough. It's definitely rough. And the entire history of you was another really good one where they had the thing in their they
Oh,
could
that
watch the like
was
memories.
so good.
It's just that it's cool in the sense of the way that they tie in like technology and not really, you know, technology you couldn't see existing in 10 years.
Exactly. And I think that's the problem with it right now is like we're not that far away from stuff like this actually happening.
Right.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
or like I forget the name of the episode, but the one where basically the mascot bear becomes president or something,
Yeah.
and it's like literally that's what happened.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, well,
Right.
then they have like the robot like apocalypse episode,
That one's
and now
really
we have
that
like the Boston
Metalhead.
Dynamics like company
Yeah.
literally making dancing
Showing
robots,
these.
and it's
Yeah.
just like have you guys not watched Black Mirror?
Right.
Like
You're going the wrong way.
yes, what are you doing?
So the episode that I was talking about was Striking Vipers, and it's the Street Fighter-esque episode. I don't know if you guys watched the more recent episode
Anthony Mackie.
where they find out that there's something a little bit more fun to do in the game besides fight. Really weird. Like one of the, you know, maybe up there with the first episode of the show for me.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the season, there's only 3 episodes, and I was super amped for it. And it's just, you know, wasn't for me. You know, there's like maybe one episode out of those 3 that I kind of enjoyed a little bit.
The man, I wish I knew. I should pull up the titles, but the episode with like the Star Trek game.
Oh yes,
thingy,
yes.
so good.
That one is definitely
what's his name?
up there.
Jesse Plemons.
Yeah,
I love that guy.
That's
So good.
USS Callister.
Yep.
And that for me, you know, now that I think about it, that might be my favorite episode over Shut Up and Dance.
Yeah. And I also like the 10,000 merits or something where they basically live in a bunker and they have to like
The treadmill?
bike to get credits or whatever. And
oh yeah,
that was a good one.
I thought you were talking about Nosedive, which is like where they have the rating system for everything.
Oh, dude,
like that's
everything
really good.
it's so good.
It is. I mean, we could do this all day, but it's. I feel like it's. If you've watched that show and watched the first episode and we're like, no, not doing it, please just go back and watch the other ones because there's really good ones and there are going to be ones that you're going to be like, what am I watching? But there's going to be a lot. Right. Not like that.
That one is just it's so sad because
yeah.
That guy, okay, we're just going to talk about that episode real quick because that poor guy had no choice to do what he did. He did what had to be done. And then his family is just so disgusted with him and just like leaves him. And he's just like, what was I supposed to like?
Had to do it.
I had to do it. Like they were going to kill.
It's really, you know,
not
I
only
mean,
does he have to do that, but then like he does it. And then his family is just like, dude, you're disgusting. See you later.
Yeah.
Shows like that need a shuffle button. So like sitcoms, anthologies, because if you've seen a whole sitcom, you just want to shuffle it. That's what I want to
Right,
do with sitcoms.
right.
I wish I
Yeah.
could just pick. It could just pick a random episode for me and just let me watch it. And anthologies like Black Mirror would benefit from that too.
Oh,
Definitely, yeah, absolutely.
And it still
so-
gives you the first episode anyway. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
that's
eventually going to get to it.
I will say my Netflix on my TV upstairs, it does have like whenever you go to like choose a profile or whatever, there's another button that just says play something, and
Yes.
it's not like what you're talking about exactly, Nick, but you can
It's like a
kind of
shuffle
do
all
like
of Netflix.
a random Netflix pick, which I haven't tried out yet. But we have a slew of comments here we got to get through. So Michael says, anyone seen The Fourth Kind? I have. It is a terrifying movie.
I've seen it and I completely forgot what it's about.
I've
definitely seen it.
Aliens, right?
Yeah, Resident Evil chick. What's her name?
Mia
Yes, her.
Jovovich or something like that.
She is she is a psychiatrist, I believe, in Alaska, where apparently a bunch of people go missing. So they think there's like lots of UFO stuff going on up there, and it's just like terrifying alien abduction.
Yeah, it's coming back to me.
Yeah, it's on Netflix right now for anybody that wants to watch
good.
it. But it's coming off on the 31st. So,
side note, they kind of got in a lot of trouble because they play it out to be like, this is a very accurate retelling of the story of blah blah blah. And it like really
is not.
Really is not at all.
Okay, before we go away from Black Mirror, because we're going that direction, did you watch Bandersnatch, the movie that you can make your own choices?
Oh,
Black Mirror movie.
I have not watched it yet. No, but
yeah,
it's been on my list since it came out, and I just keep forgetting about it.
It's pretty cool. It like kind of took off where I work. Everybody was watching it and like picking their choices. Like, oh, we're making the story change. And I was like, I've been doing that for like 15 years in video games, but it's fine. You know, it's super cool. Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah, let's pick up a controller, dork. Yeah. And then he says Pripyat. I should have probably gone through some of these a little sooner so we could understand what they're talking about. Would be an amazing trip. I'm talking about Chernobyl probably still.
Yes. Churn.
Off topic, but there's a new Child's Play series coming out.
Oh, interesting.
True.
Interesting.
Biosiv says the show hurt so bad it took me over a year to binge the series. Smart man. Best friends on the birthday. Probably talking about the Street Fighter episode.
Yeah.
Yep. Family. Underfunded says, I wish you could put GIFs in chat. So do I. That would be such a great thing.
That would be, yeah.
And then on the screen.
Yeah,
that would be really
Underfunded also says, dude, that play something button is crazy, but I'm not brave enough. Me either, because I
feel like I'd hit it over and over and over and over until I got to something I wanted to watch. You know,
right.
There's too much crap on there. You'd be watching something you don't. My fear is it would mess up the algorithm.
That's what I was just about to say. But I have my own profile now that's called Showboys, and I told my entire family like nobody touch this one.
So I remember when I told you about that. You were like,
I
really?
Didn't even know.
Yeah.
So
FYI,
I did it on
everybody
Hulu too.
Make your own profile and have your own algorithm. Don't let anyone mess with it because my wife's and mine completely different. Depending on what we're looking to watch, depends on which profile we go to.
Right. Yeah, I noticed that like the other day when it was recommending like all anime for me. I was like, oh, this is so weird. Like, but it never occurred to me that it was the profile thing. But I guess that makes sense.
So like our main profile is just like half
Disaster.
true, half like Boss Baby, and then there's like crazy serial killer documentaries, and then like it's just like Real Housewives or whatever, The Circle, like whatever garbage reality TV crap my wife watches. It's so like ugh. And then Michael says, and you know that I don't know what. See, wish we were quicker with this because I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Maybe he's talking about the profiles. Probably. I didn't know about those because I'm a big dumb.
Big dumb.
Yeah. And then Underfunded says, yeah, we have one for us, one for the kids. It's so useful. It's very true. But yeah, so I do need to finish Chernobyl. So thanks for reminding me about that.
Yeah.
And you need to finish it too. We'll do it together.
Finish it.
Well, you'll probably do it before me, but
probably.
Maybe.
So Nick, what have you been watching?
Man, speaking of Chernobyl, actually no. Speaking of Jared Harris in Chernobyl. And so I've been watching a show I've been meaning to get to for 5 years now. And at first, everyone that I know has seen it. Basically, they're like, watch it, you're going to love it. But not that many people, I think, are aware of the show. And if they are, they just haven't watched it. But then I started watching it, and very early on, I found out Jared Harris is in it. So like I further just fell in love with this show. And the show is The Expanse, and it's on Prime, and it says it's a Prime original, but I really feel like it was on Sci-Fi first. And the
Yes,
way
you're right.
the way it's structured is like 40-minute episodes, which is more in line with like a TV. So,
Right.
Is that that to be true?
Yeah. So it was on Sci-Fi, and I don't remember. I think it was on Sci-Fi for 3 seasons and got canceled, and then Amazon picked it up for the 4th and 5th season.
Yeah,
I think
those numbers might be. Yeah, those numbers might be wrong, but I know that it did get picked up by Prime, and now it does say Amazon Original, which is odd. But
I think the streaming services do that on properties that they acquire, whether or not they created, or because Black Mirror also says Netflix original, but that's like a BBC, or not a BBC, but it's like a British show on Channel 4 or whatever. I've noticed that too. Like for example, the show I'm going to talk about says it's a Hulu original, but it's
lies
on Crave TV over up north or whatever. So yeah, I think it's just whenever they like acquire the rights for a show or a movie, well, not really a movie, but for a show, they slap that tag on there.
Yeah, I'd be curious to get to, because I have watched part of The Expanse, and I think maybe the first or second season, but I'm curious how it changes, if any at all, when you get to the Prime seasons, because it looks like they are much higher rated than the rest of the show.
Yeah, so I started watching it probably like 2 years ago, and I got to like see episode 3, or like I think it was 3 or 4 of the first season, and it wasn't clicking right. It was just very slow, and there was just a lot being set up.
Right.
And obviously, like being a Sci-Fi original, like those always have like a certain finesse to them, right?
Yeah, right.
It's a kind way of saying it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's one way to say it.
But it completely like redeems itself once it all clicks, and it all kind of clicks halfway through the season. It starts finding its groove. And the cool thing about this show, and there's a lot of cool things about it, but the cool thing is like there's like always a mid-season finale, and like there's a big shift mid-season, which I think is really cool. And it's just weird because the first 6 like episodes spend all that time getting to that point, and then it's just on a roll from there.
Right.
But I mean, in short, it's basically set hundreds of years in the future in our solar system, and basically we have since colonized Mars, the asteroid belt, and numerous places in between. Mars is its own planet, right? And then there's the Earth, there's Mars, and then there's like the belt, and those are all the people that live out in the belt. And they basically have this kind of like broken English kind of dialect that's really cool. And it at first, and this the other cool thing about it is it starts off very grounded, right, in reality, physics, all that kind of stuff. And it's not so much, it's just a sci-fi, but realistic sci-fi. But as it goes on, it continuously like expands itself into The Expanse.
Whoa.
And it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and they keep introducing more things, but they introduce things in a very story driven way. It's not like all of a sudden it becomes some ridiculous, weird, bizarre like sci-fi show. And even like because it's our solar system, the characters are self-aware that this thing is breaking like physics, and like this isn't normal. So it just does a really good job at telling this story grounded in something that's very familiar to us, and just like how things work now and how we can see things working in the near like couple hundred years. And it's also cool how they they spend a lot of detail being accurate to how space works
Yes.
and how
Yes.
things work in space, and they're able to create a lot of tension and suspense around otherwise very boring things. Like,
Right. Right.
forgot to like secure the tool rack, so now they're doing like combat maneuvers, and these tools are like flying through the cabin,
Yeah.
almost like decapitating them.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But it's a
Yeah.
simple thing, and if you don't, it's screwed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just a really well done show, and it continuously gets better and better. So yeah, you definitely have to get past that first like hump there to figure out what's going on.
Right.
And the detective guy, you probably got to him. Yeah, he's in the first season.
Yes. Yeah.
Early.
First episode, I think.
Yeah, he reminds me of the detective in Fallout 4.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So like every time I watch him, basically I'm just picturing him being like the space
yeah.
sci-fi version of that dude
Right.
in Fallout 4. Very
Right.
similar character in my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, great show, and has, I mean, the acting's good, and you just kind of got to settle into this like nice little universe they have set up.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I found the universe really cool that they were setting up, and it almost gave me kind of like a, this is gonna be really a bad comparison, but it gave me like a Game of Thrones in space vibe a little bit with the political stuff that's going on between Mars and Earth and the Belters
Right.
and all that. But I am really happy with how all the science turned out in it, and they get like some really obscure stuff right in that show. So yeah, and it changes even from season 1 to season 2. It changes quite a bit. So I think Nick's right, where you just have to kind of settle in and get through the slower parts. Well, you could say that for any show that you ever watch. The first season's always just setting stuff up,
The
Swamp Thing. Just the whole season of
Except
setting
for
stuff
yeah.
up. That's never gonna happen.
I mean, so far, like the mid-season finale on season 2 is my favorite part of the show. Like, it was just so unexpected and cool. It's really worth getting there. But to that point, that's like, to me, like a season and a half is the first act of the show.
Right.
So it's weird that the way things are split up, and it just makes it very dynamic, because you have your season ends, and that's like the cliffhanger, but then you get this resolution mid-season, and you get to keep going. So
Right.
I don't know. I just find it a super unique show, and the added like element of the science being accurate is just so cool. And usually everyone that likes it and loves it, they love it a lot for that fact, because it's not just some far-fetched sci-fi that just doesn't make sense. Like, they go to extreme lengths to be like, this is how it works.
Right. Yeah. And I listened to a lot of astrophysicists and stuff, like podcasts, and they almost all point to that show for the accuracy of most of the stuff in it. So, and like I said, they get really obscure stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like the pouring of the drinks, how it would be, and that kind of stuff. And like, stuff that you wouldn't probably think about
The boots.
to even worry about. Yeah, the boots. I mean, it's really cool, and it's cool to see a grounded science fiction show like that, because they're kind of few and far between. Even in movies, they're usually screwing some sort of major thing up in the movie that some astrophysicist out there is going to make fun of.
Right.
So
yeah, the whole boots thing, how, like, because basically they wear magnetic boots or whatever that grounds them, so most of the time that's what keeps it normal, as far as. But like, say they get punched in the nose and it starts bleeding, the blood just floats.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I completely forgot that they're remembering like these details.
Right.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it's a much easier way to do no gravity by making the boots, and then just having the small details that you have to put in that don't have gravity, versus everybody's floating around all the time. It's got to be difficult. There's some movies that have done that, and it's got to be difficult to film an entire movie on cables like that.
Right. So I am like underfunded and have not seen this show and think it sounds super cool. And as you guys were talking, well, first we'll just get this quick question out of the way. Any Halloween fans? Michael Myers here from Michael. I would say I'm not really, but Chad shook his head, so I believe he is. Nick?
I am, as much as it relates to being a friend of yours, Michael. That is how much I am a Michael Myers fan. It's all through you.
Oh, nice.
But
I do
he's
know.
definitely excited for Halloween, as you can tell.
Yeah, I do know our buddy Jordan is a fan. So
Big fan.
maybe he'll talk about it when he comes on next. I'm sure he's actually asked us about talking about Halloween, I believe. But yeah, we haven't talked about Mr. Robot in a while. But
Oh,
since you
okay.
guys were talking about how grounded the Expanses and how accurate they try to be with all their stuff, I gotta say, as a fan of Mr. Robot, who also took the same approach towards hacking and all of the hacking stuff and technology that they used in that show, I feel like I could really appreciate that, because I think that was one of my favorite parts of Mr. Robot. Listening to a companion series podcast for that show, one of the hosts, his job is basically in cybersecurity, and he hacks stuff so they can learn how to like prevent it. Right.
Right.
So like every episode, he's like, yeah, I've totally done that. That's exactly like the equipment that you would use, and all the way down to pretty much like what they're typing on the screen. Like, yeah, it's exactly how that would work. And that's totally something that I've done before. So like
Yeah.
watching that whole series and him basically just being every single hacking thing that they do, they're like, yep, that's totally doable. I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh wow, that's great, but also a little scary.
Right.
Because,
Right.
like, you
Yeah.
can do all that crazy crap.
Yeah.
But with that being in the vein of The Expanse, sounds super cool, and I think something that I could really appreciate as a fan of small detailed things like that. And while you guys were talking, I was looking through the cast, and Chad L. Coleman's in that show, who was in The Walking Dead for a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. You know, I think that both sides of this argument that we're kind of having right now, the grounded side and the ridiculous side, have their place. So,
Mhm.
like, Star Wars is obviously not grounded whatsoever. I mean, there's gravity on the ships. They have
Right.
light swords, but people love it. At the same time, Interstellar, which is like my favorite movie of all time, is very grounded for what it is.
Yeah.
And people also love that. So I think it just depends on what you're going with. But it's cool to
Right.
see The Expanse combine both a, Star Wars-esque science fiction,
Mhm.
traveling through space, but still keep it grounded to what we know now, the way space works, at least.
Yeah, for sure. Just from our texting conversations, I've wanted to check this out, but then listening to you talk about it a little more in detail here really makes me want to bump it up my list. So I'm getting pretty close to being done with Stargirl. Oh, well, season 2 started. That's a weekly thing. So I'm almost caught up with Stargirl, so I'm gonna have to add The Expanse to the rotation.
Good characters and character development as well.
Nice.
They do a very good job in that department.
I was also looking, and there's a fella in the show named Sean Doyle who plays. Where is it at? The Expanse. Sadavir Ehrenreich.
Yeah. Yep.
He
Old
was
Aaron Wright.
Samuel Grant in Frontier, which was a really fun show on Netflix with Jason Momoa about the fur trading.
Oh,
days.
yeah. I saw that on there.
So I was like, oh wow, that guy looks really familiar. Where do I know him from? It's from Frontier. He's a good actor. But anyways, let's rip through some of these comments, boys. Biosiv says, whoa, did you just change the color for the banners? Oh, nice. Sorry, I'm ADD and I saw a new color over there. But Biosiv says, ever seen the show Devs? I have, and it's I loved it. It was so good. And I think I might have even talked about it on like one of our first episodes. Because I think Cody was still on when we were talking about it. Shout out Cody. Great show though. If you guys haven't seen it, it's on Hulu. It's an FX show. One season, I think. There is one season out. I don't know if they plan on making any more. I could be wrong though. But it has Nick Offerman's in it in a very non-Ron Swanson role, which is interesting, and took me like a couple episodes to be like, oh wow, I'm okay with this. But like the story is super good and real mind trippy. Yeah, great show. I loved it. Underfunded Scientist says, I don't watch a lot of scary stuff. I don't blame you, Brud. I just combined
Brud.
Bro
bud,
and
Brud.
Bud.
Yeah.
Brud.
Bird.
And then Michael says, oh, I'm ready. Lamau. He's ready for that Halloween.
Did Mr. Robot finish or did it get
Oh, yeah.
canceled?
No,
it did.
It ran its course, 4 seasons.
Glorious.
The dude, Mr. Esmail, all hail. He originally, it was supposed to be a movie, and then he's like, I want to do a show because there's too much in here. And so he started out, he's like, this is how long it's going to be. This is how it's going to end.
Oh, that's cool.
And so it was like, that's why, in my opinion, it's probably one of the best shows I've ever seen. It's like everything that happens matters because from the start, he knew exactly how
where he was
end.
going. Yeah, that's cool.
So there was no like lollygagging around and everything. Yeah, it was so great. As soon as it finished, I immediately went back, rewatched the entire series again, and it was like a completely different show just because of how
you
it
know
ended.
how it
And
ends.
just
Yeah.
like everything else just meant something different. And I was like, this
you know
is
what's really
brilliant.
happening, and that's the cool thing that show does, because you don't know what's happening
Yeah.
half the time.
Exactly. Yeah, everything just has a completely different meaning. It's so good.
Yeah, I watched the first season and then like many other shows that just kind of trailed off from there. And it, you know, it was probably
So
Oh,
Nick, no,
man.
I'm just kidding.
but
Sorry,
I want to get back to it, and it being only 4 seasons
yeah,
is enticing to get back
Yeah.
to because I loved it. I mean, I really liked the first season. So
It's approachable.
I still want to do an entire podcast on Mr. Robot and its greatness. Maybe
You
I'll
won't.
just record a video of myself
talking
just
about
solo talking about Mr. Robot for like 3 hours.
On one episode, because pause, dude, this is crazy.
Yeah.
it.
All right, play.
Oh, it's so true.
A minute goes by.
Yeah.
He's thinking about it right now.
Yeah.
How accurate that is.
So true. Yeah, dude. Do you have anything else? Or is that just kind of the main one for you, Nick? Or anything else about the Expanse you want to get off your chest?
Nah, because any more like start to give stuff away.
Yeah, that's true.
Trying to peer away from like any details, and that's also what's nice about the show is like you can't really, because it changes so much, you can't really talk about anything without alluding to the direction of the show, and you know it takes a direction.
Is it
that's
done?
fun. The rumor is it's not. I believe there are 6 seasons, I believe 5 or 6 seasons, and the rumor is there's still a season coming.
Okay.
So
is this like 6 seasons in a movie rumor, or is this like
I think it could be 6 seasons in a movie type rumor.
Shout out Dan Harmon community.
Dan
I
Harmon.
love you guys.
If
you ever want to come on the show, I mean,
yeah, he's pop on.
Open door.
Dan would be a cool guy to talk to. He'd be that would be crazy.
Yeah.
He'd just hang out. He wouldn't even talk. He would just hang out.
Just like make fun of us the whole time.
Yeah. Draw sketches and just like hold it up.
Yeah. That'd be great.
But
man.
I've been given permission from the wife to just go ahead and catch up on The Crown so she can go ahead and watch the next season. So I was like, we were in like the 2nd season, I swear. And she was like, no, look. And we look at the watch and it was like, here, play season 1, episode 6. I'm like, man, I really liked it though. That's how much I liked it. I thought I saw way more of it than I did because I get so much done in there. But yeah,
my wife watched it and I tried to get me into
Jay
it.
Harris special, right?
Yeah.
Old Jared Harrison there.
Ever so briefly.
Lame.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's like really what hooked me. I'm like, dude. But then I was putting things together in my head. I'm like, oh man, like I know how this ends because it's based on a true story. A very popular true story.
Right.
And I was like, dang it. I know where this is going real quick. So spoiler alert.
Yes.
But so like I just finished season 3 of The Crown, of The Expanse. And I'm at that cliff right now. Do I plunge and just keep going, or do I like shift
Yes.
gears? Yeah,
What
I
are you
think I'm
gonna
gonna
shift
keep
gears
going.
to?
Valheim.
No.
Got a PS5. Started playing
All right.
Valheim. That's
Yeah,
how
it
life
makes
works.
so much sense. Yeah, exactly. You just need to follow my model, my schedule for gaming and TV. So you game up until an hour before you plan on going to sleep. Shut off your game and then pop on an episode of the show. And then lets your mind kind of relax. You get your gaming jitters and like mind buzz out of your system. You get to watch an episode of the show, so you're progressing every day. And then at the end of the show, it's sleepy time.
So it's a good
I was
schedule.
doing that
Yeah.
until I started playing Valheim 3 days ago.
So if you've listened to Showboys at all, you know that we basically were a bunch of skids when Valheim first came out. We were just
That's one way to put it.
It's back.
yeah. And Nick,
Getting ready for that update.
yeah, Nick reinserted the needle.
Yes.
And if it wasn't for this thing right here, I probably would be laying in the ditch with him.
And unfortunately, it's 8 days before Ghost of Tsushima comes out. Jeez, way to go there, Nick.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean I'm just getting it in before
There you go.
that comes out.
I'll buy that.
Yeah, and I'm just
Don't buy it. If it's anything like last time, we'll see Nick in 3 months, 3 or 4 months.
yeah.
Just halfway constructing several monstrosity creations in Valheim and never finishing a single one.
I'm gonna finish this one.
Our Valheim server is basically like 77.
Busted.
It's just everything is just permanently under construction with no end in mind.
There's a lot of learning and a lot of stuff going on in that server.
We did do some cool stuff, which,
yeah.
by the way,
with
this was totally unplanned. Oh, did you actually make that video though, or am I about to hype up something? That
I can publish it right now. I was gonna do some other stuff to it, like a before and after type thing.
All right, well, never mind. I'll de-hype what I was about to hype up.
Walking it back.
Well, hey, this now will make you accountable. Now you have to do it. So I'll say it. So Nick sent me a video, talking about the gaming videos and stuff he's been making. He did a tour of the infamous canal that we've talked about so many times on this freaking show. He walked up and down it, was like, hey, look, these are all the lights Mike made. These are all the other lights Mike made.
I think Chad would be impressed if he watched.
I think anyone would be impressed.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. He didn't do the before. He explained the before, which to me was like, oh yeah, I remember that. This was a lot of work. But
yeah,
you need to see.
To see it before. Yeah,
I gotta load the seed on a private session, walk there, which luckily isn't that far from the spawn.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
And I just need a walk through there, and I think it's pretty close.
But I think if you show people that the before and the after, even though the after is not completed yet, but it's like close enough, it looks really cool. Dude. I think then people who have never played Valheim will understand why it's so fun and addictive.
It's Viking Minecraft.
Dude, it's so and we even had we had the best system of our little trio of players. Like Nick was basically the master crafter and I was just like Nick's material slave. All I would do is friggin' chop trees and mine iron. And then our friend Carlson was just like making all of our food so we didn't die.
Here's the explorer.
Yeah, he was just sailing the mighty seas, finding new tombs for
killing
me to
serpents.
raid for iron. It's such a fun game. Now I want to play. Dang it.
Yeah.
So what? How is this tied to the PS? It's not on the PS5. Or were you were just saying you got a PS5 and started playing?
And I'm sitting over there and I'm sitting playing Valheim. Though I was playing Destiny 2 on the PS5, but like completely the no PlayStation Plus, no like actually owning any of the games. So it's just like a very very base
expensive
level of the game.
Yeah,
but fun, but very fun.
Yeah.
So that I might pick that. I mean, even if when I get PlayStation Plus in the coming months, for Battlefield.
Yeah.
I'll probably play some Destiny as well.
Yeah, I
mixed in
remember
with all
going
that.
hard on the first Destiny when it came out for like, I don't know, probably as long as it takes to grow a child in the womb. I don't remember. It wasn't. I don't know if it was quite a year, but it was definitely longer than 6 months. So I'm just gonna go with that 9-month mark. Yeah, so fun. Grinded a ton with some friends, and it was a blast. Let's get through some comments real quick. Michael says your Halloween podcast is going to be long as, and I will not say that word, sir.
Potty
yeah,
mouth.
if it's anything like any other episode we do, you're exactly right.
Valid.
Underfunded scientist says day hype, and now I'm 2 times hype
Because you
should
see,
be.
yeah, because you dehyped.
Yeah. And then he says, I've never played it, Valheim, but I wanna. I love Minecraft.
Oh
and
yeah,
pretty
you were
much any
really into
survival game."
Minecraft, yeah, because we
Yeah,
talked about
you
it on
were
our episode.
exactly. You were
Yeah.
talking about it. You would love that game, seriously, because it does have some cool like PvE and like bosses and stuff and other things to do that's not Viking Minecraft. But yeah, the Viking Minecraft really is the best part for us. And then Michael says, Halo Infinite. Yeah, bro. Thanks, guys, for all the comments, by the way. It's been really fun chatting with
Lighten
you
it
guys.
up.
Really appreciate that. But yeah, shoot, dude. I was going to say something.
I have a question, though. I have a dilemma.
What's up?
I want to rewatch a classic,
Oh,
a show that I consider a classic. And basically, and I posted this in the Discord earlier this week. No one helped me out. That's okay, though.
Shame, Discord members. You got one job.
But yeah, so I want to basically, and it also just falls into a thing of like I want to watch a HBO classic. And I don't know, I'm like between either the Boardwalk Empire or The Wire, right? On a rewatch for both of those. I've rewatched The Wire, but I've never rewatched Boardwalk Empire. So I'm leaning toward Boardwalk Empire. But if I can't decide, I think I'm just gonna rewatch the first season of True Detective for like the 5th time because it's the best season of anything ever, and I'll stand by that.
So I'm
my vote.
I'm kind of obscure on those 2 shows because I've never watched Boardwalk Empire.
Same.
However, I love The Sopranos, one of probably my second favorite show of all time. I've never watched The Wire. However, I love The Shield, and every time I look at things similar to The Shield, The Wire comes up every time.
The Wire, yeah.
And I know I would. I know I would. And I think maybe I watched part of Boardwalk Empire, but I want the modern day mafia stuff. It's just my personal taste.
True.
But I've never once watched a single episode of The Wire, and I really need to because I hear it's really, really good.
It's the only issue you might have is because it was early 2000s when it came out, so aspect ratio is square at the beginning, and then it widens and it's fine. But to me, it just gives it a very nice like classic, not campy, but it gives it a feel. That's the first 2 seasons are just, and every season's so different, but the first 2 seasons are like their own thing because of that.
I mean, that's how I kind of felt about The Shield. The Shield is up there top 3 shows for me of all time, and it's got that kind of, if you go back and watch The Shield originally the way it was, now you're gonna have a very difficult time watching it because it's just the way it's filmed. It's got like a gritty filter on it. Everything's real close up to the people's faces. But recently they went back and up-resed everything to 4K and released it on Blu-ray, and now I believe the Shield on Hulu is that version of The Shield, so it's much easier to go back to watch it, and that's saying something because I tried to watch it like 2 years ago before the Blu-ray thing, and I was like, man, I love this show, but it's like kind of hurting my eyes, so I don't have a problem with old shows. I don't think I'd have any issue going back and watching this The Wire, but
Dexter's like that too. I think if you go back and watch Dexter, like the first 10 seasons are like that, and then you have the other 10 seasons you have to watch. How many seasons are in Dexter? There's a lot.
I think 8 because I think the one that's about to come out is 9.
I could have sworn
maybe 9, and the one that's about to come out is 10.
Yeah.
Rip Dexter. I loved that show. I'm probably one of the few people that wasn't entirely angry about how it ended.
That's
I'm not
because
gonna
you
say
like
that
everything.
I'm not gonna say I loved how it ended. I'm just gonna say I wasn't infuriated like everyone else. My vote, Nick, having not watched either of your original options, but loving your third option, I would vote for True Detective. Probably even if I saw the other two.
Well, yeah, and the other two are big things to tackle. Like they're not
Right.
short shows. The Wire is a nice, concise 5 seasons, which is nice. It's one of those classic, like, here's the beginning, here's the end, and that's it. Like, let's not do anything dumb. Like, your boy,
Mr. Roboto.
yeah, Mr. Robot. But the other thing that True Detective has going for it is like it's 8 episodes, an hour long. I could watch that in a weekend and just be
Right.
very happy with myself. So
Yeah. Plus,
That's
it's
that's another one of the
masterpiece.
Yeah, I never watched it, and you're gonna hate me for saying this, but I watched I think the third season, maybe the second season, whichever one took place in Los Angeles.
yeah, the one that had what's his name?
Still
Come
the
on.
bad one.
Might be.
It wasn't bad. It just
was
had
it
no
the one
point.
with Vince Vaughn?
Vince
Yeah,
Vaughn
Vince.
is the bad guy.
And
Yeah, I
Wasn't bad.
I'm a total sucker for any
Uh-huh.
LAPD, LA
Yeah.
anything.
Dude,
So
you-
I liked it, but I have not watched the first season. And I know that's like
You
the
need to. It's
yeah,
so
I know.
good.
Yeah,
There's one valuable lesson I learned from season 1, and that is you never know. You never know. You never mow another man's lawn. And I mean, I feel like honestly, that's a great segue. I don't know if you were done talking or not, but
I'm done.
you are
my
now.
vote's for True Detective, by the way, and I think Chad also voted for True Detective. So hopefully
Shoot,
that answers
yeah.
your question. But Discord members, first off, before I'm going to ruin my segue.
Uh-oh.
Come on, Discord, why are you going to leave old Pixel Nick hanging out there like that? Come on, guys.
No love.
I know.
No love. It's like summertime or something. People are outside.
Right
It's
outside.
travesty. Like, what is wrong with these people?
I think it's maybe because you're not like HBO level in Discord like I am. So like, maybe you just don't
We're
have the
both
clout.
old boys. We're
and
Yeah.
both old
respect.
boys.
Right. You don't have the pool.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Shame.
I invented
Shame.
HBO. You don't even watch HBO.
True. I watch HBO for the lame CW shows.
That's so sad. It's so sad.
It's really
I've never
sad.
even appreciated that those are on the same spectrum. Just I'll
Yeah.
see 2 different
Yeah.
ends of the same
It's like
WB spectrum.
It's like okay, this is probably not gonna make sense either because I don't think you're musicians or guitar players, but it's like Fender and Squire, like same
Heard of
brand.
Fender, never heard of Squire. So.
Exactly. Squire is like the Walmart version of Fender.
Gotcha.
So it's like
Gotcha.
HBO, CW.
Got something
yeah.
for everyone.
I gotta say though, again on Discord, if you haven't noticed in Discord, if you're a member of our Discord, if you're not, you should jump in there because it's a fun place to be. Unless Nick's asking a question, then apparently it's Ghost Town.
It's not fun.
But no, we have a level system in there. We named our levels based on channel or streaming service things. So like, if you're kind of lame in our Discord, you carry the CW title, which is kind of funny. So but we do have a Prime member on right now, Mel. Yeah, a little round of
Shout
applause. Mel, big popular gal in the old Discord, but I gotta say I'm the only one that's HBO, and that's like level 20 plus. That's just because I'm Discord master, a maniac on the keyboard. Quick pro tip: instead of doing long posts, you just do many short posts, and then you level up quicker. Yeah, I'm just kidding. But yeah, now I don't even remember what my segue was going to be. Something about mowing grass.
Yeah, mowing
Yes.
grass.
That sounds like a lesson that you would learn in this little show called Letterkenny.
Oh yes,
Just saying.
Letterkenny.
That sounds like something Wayne would say. Yeah, you never mow another man. Actually, he would be. Actually, there's an episode where he did mow several people's grasses.
Yeah.
So never mind. I guess I just disproved my own. I'm
Yeah.
a terrible host. Why do you guys let me do this?
Yeah.
I just
Because
ruined my own
it's-
point.
It's fun to watch the
like a
dumpster
train
fire
wreck.
unfold.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that first episode of Black Mirror, except
Yeah.
it'll make you want to kill yourself. So the BioCiv says, I don't understand how I got the UPN rank on Discord. The Uppin? What's where what? Are you trolling me right now? What's Uppin? You're a
He must be in
special
a
guest,
different-
brother.
Yeah, he must be in a different server.
Yeah.
I've been here the whole time. Oh man.
Yeah. He's answering another Nick's Discord
Yeah.
like messages.
Nick, I replied to your question.
Yeah. No, so my show I want to talk about tonight that I was way late to the show to was
Showboy boys. Boys.
Yeah, Letterkenny, a great show. If you've never heard of this show, I feel bad for you because I know exactly how you feel, and I know how you will feel once you've watched it. But yeah,
Well, that
go ahead.
show, like Black Mirror, not to cut you off, but like the cold opens, like
Oh,
in my experience,
so good.
it either does it or kills it instantly for people. Is the cold open? They're like, "What are we watching?" It's
Yeah.
like, it's okay. It's so great.
I've rewatched the cold open for the very first episode probably like 30 times. Like it's so funny. I was actually, if you heard me laughing at all, Chad, when you first came in here, is because I was literally
Thinking about
rewatching
it.
the
Oh, you
cold
were
open.
watching it.
But yeah, it's a Canadian television series. It actually started out as a YouTube like mini series. They were like little short 2-minute videos. And it all started because like Chad, when I get into something, I like really get into it. So I've been watching a lot of behind the scenes and interview videos with Jared Kiso, who's one of the creators. But the idea started with Kiso and his like best bud started a parody Twitter account that would just post problems from their hometown. They're from a small town in Canada. Let's see, Listowel, Ontario, which I probably did not pronounce right, so I'm sorry. But they would just like make joke posts about like, you know, problems that they would have ran into from their hometown, and then like it picked up traction, and they ended up Kiso and Nathan Dales, who plays Daryl, started making short like 2-minute videos on YouTube and calling it Letterkenny problems, and they kind of blew up, and it got picked up by Crave TV up in Canada. And yeah, it's like I would say it's probably like Office level like
Culty.
importance
Yeah.
in Canada. Like it is the show up there, and like Kiso is the dude in Canada. But holy crap, like it is it's so funny. Like I can't describe how funny the show is, and it's like so quick, and I think that's what makes it so funny is like it is the one of the fastest paced shows that goes nowhere if you understand what that means. Like it's great because whenever I watch anything with my wife, which it's what time is it now? 10:30. Yeah, she's probably asleep. So I mean, she doesn't want to listen to this anyways, but if she did, she'd probably be asleep by now. And there's no way she's getting an hour and a half into one of these podcasts. But whenever we watch shows, a lot of it is just her like messing around on her phone, and then me getting annoyed, like, "What? I thought you wanted to watch a show. Like,
Right,
watch shows."
yeah,
Because
yeah.
then inevitably, what always happens is like we get to a point, and then she's like, "Oh, wait, what?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
literally the entire episode they've been talking about this. Like,
I feel like
what
on
are you?
that.
Come on.
I really do.
And so I started the show first and got like through pretty much 2 seasons of it, and then I showed her the first episode, and because the friend who told me about it, his wife also loves it, and Becca's really good friends with her, and I was like, hey, if Denise watches this, you'll probably like it. And so she's like, all right, I'll give it a try. And I was like, okay, but you have to put your phone down, because this will not be a good show if you do not devote 100% of your attention to it, because the dialogue is like 100 miles an hour, and there's like no pause for the jokes. But that's like also what makes it so funny, is it's just like rapid fire, like witty burns on each other. And it basically, the gist of the show is you follow a couple groups of people in this town called Letterkenny in Canada. It's a real small town, 5,000 people, and these are their problems. And you follow a couple Hicks, a couple Skids, a couple hockey players, and a really great Christian pastor named Glenn. And it's just
Glenn.
it's so funny, like unbelievably funny. But I think one of the other great things though is like underneath the humor, and all of the humor basically is them all just ripping on each other and kind of making fun of each other. Like the characters, well, at least I would say the Hicks, but probably all of the characters, definitely the Hicks, like down in their core are actually like good boys. They're like good guys, right? And they like Wayne is very well mannered and like I don't know, like old school, like very respectful, but like also so funny and like just rips on everyone, and it's great. And I don't know.
It's a lot of inside jokes too amongst themselves, and it's the viewer catching up and trying to put together their inside jokes is like part of the humor too, I think.
Yeah, it's great. And like I don't know, just the the stereotypes that they like play off of in these like people groups, like the skids
Skids,
are
man.
like just meth heads, like the very first scene you see, they're like outside a like dollar store or something, and like raving to like EDM music, and it's hilarious. But yeah, I don't know. I could go on forever about this show, but it looks like there's 9 seasons and it's still going. Last season being in 2020.
They're like 20-minute episodes, right?
Yeah, short episodes. And I don't know what's up with Canada, but like their season length, they're weird. Like season 1 was 6 episodes, and 2 was like 7, and then
Oh yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
odd.
It's just all over the place, but it's so good, so freaking good. But you've seen have you seen all of the show, Nick?
No, I think I'm like 6 seasons deep or
Okay.
5.
Um,
Basically, I think I left off on the snowmobile. If you got that far, like the snowmobile episode where they're kind of running between towns,
no,
because there is
no,
another town that they start beefing with.
Oh, nice. I'm
Yeah.
looking at we just finished the Halloween special in 2017, so we're about to start season 4. Oh no, we did start season 4.
Is it
Watch
is it Hulu or Netflix?
Hulu. But it's one of those shows that Hulu slaps the Hulu original on there, even though it literally is
Yeah, but they
on
flashed the
Crave.
Crave up, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's so funny, and like I don't want to give anything away, and also it's very hard to give anything away because it's so hard to just repeat anything that they say because it's
All in context.
amazing.
Yeah.
But like, is there anything I'm leaving out, Nick, as someone who's watched several seasons of the show?
I mean, yeah, it's just like nothing. It's a small town story. Nothing happens, right? Really, in these episodes, it's all the crap you deal with if you never left your hometown. And their problems are like, the funny part is like the problems are small and like pointless, but like they get blown out
Yeah.
and extrapolate into this ridiculous, like quippy humor where they'll stand around, and like Mike said, like the scene isn't, nothing is happy in the scene, but they're like standing around like a table, or they're sitting down in the yard, and they are just like lighting each other up as far as like these continuous like rolling like jokes. They have their own lingo and their own inside humor, and
I think that's just a Canadian thing. Like we think it's like their own thing. I think a lot of it's just like Canadian slang and like hockey slang, but I also could be wrong. But it's so good. I'm like really tempted to just share my screen and play the cold open. It's like 2.5 minutes. Should we do it?
The very first one.
Yeah. Okay.
Copyright.
Before we do that, we'll go through the comments here. Spio says, "Oh, for real, y'all don't remember UPN? It had the show Sister." I don't remember the channel, but I do remember that show.
Is this like, should this be our intro rank?
Right. Yeah, exactly. But man, that's actually a great reference. So props, even though we kind of were, giving a little guff there. I take it back. Underfunded says legendary. And BioCiv says UPN became the CW. Okay, so we already got it in there. Perfect. That's great. So we're gonna play the cold open here to the very first episode of Letterkenny. So if you're listening to the audio only podcast, I'm sorry you don't get to see
Still gonna
this,
be
but
funny.
you should be able to hear the audio. For everyone else, enjoy. We'll still be on the screen and probably laughing, hopefully.
Not Chad. He should be like,
He's gonna be like, he's just gonna leave. But yeah, so we hope you enjoy, and hopefully this cold open will get you to watch Letterkenny on Hulu. So let me just double check real quick, make sure I have the audio on, because that would be just a
Not
tragedy.
funny.
Yeah. Actually, that probably would be more funny. All right, enjoy.
Dead silence.
Yeah.
Opening
There you
text.
go.
Couple hockey players come up the produce stand the other day.
The old produce stand. Here we go.
Can't believe your sister's still dating these nutsacks.
Wayne,
How are you now?
good and you?
Not so bad.
Hey, Katie.
Go home, Daryl.
Nice onesie. Is it come in men's?
Oh, I think you come in men enough for all of us.
I think you better come in you better come up.
I think you better come say that to his face, you fucking hicks.
Nice execution.
You're doing terrific.
Hey, I heard about your breakup, buddy.
She was a sweetie for what, 5 years, right?
Oh, you're a high school sweetie, right?
What's it to you?
Heard she cheated on you, buddy.
That's a real kick in the knackers, bro.
Just a real ouchie, bro.
It's too bad. Gosh, not to fight anymore, buddy.
Because that's right on site for you and her new guy, buddy.
Fourth life for life, bro.
Maybe if you'd ever been in a real fight, you might not be so keen for another.
What'd you say?
You heard me.
Much better. Guys, off, boys. You looking for a Tilly, buddy? Let's have a Donnybrook.
Pump the brakes. You take your shirt off, but leave your sunglasses on.
What sort of backwards fucking pageantry is that?
You gonna fight with those kids? Go to pokerstars.com.
TikTok. Go time! Go time!
Look at that fucking treasure trail.
What's up with your fucking body hair, Big Shoots? You look like a 12-year-old Dutch girl. Your esthetician coiffed that for you?
You can kiss my esthetician. You guys do CrossFit?
You can cross fuck off.
CrossFit. Oh, she's bashful.
Oh, come on, kitten. I won't tell anyone. Ballpark 6 to 8. You're a fucking animal.
Play a little 5-on-1.
Hit the kitchen, mix a batch.
Feed the ducks.
Distribute some free literature.
Go time! Get him!
Riley, Jonesy, put your fucking shirts on. Get out of here.
This isn't over. Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
I'll never buy you a Coke.
He's so funny.
It's a hard life picking stones and pulling teats, but sure as God's got sandals, it beats fighting dudes with treasure trails.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, it's such a good show.
BioCiv doesn't like it.
Yeah, well, BioCiv. I don't like him anymore. I heckin' hate
I
this
don't
show.
like him. Heckin'.
Letterkenny, not Show Boys. Well, I guess.
Mike would feel better if it was the other way around, actually.
Yeah, actually, I probably would. But like, that's exactly what the show is, and it's just, it's too much sometimes. It's so funny, but like in that scene there, you had the Hicks, who were Wayne, the guy standing up, and Daryl, the guy sitting down. And then you had the two hockey guys, Riley and Jonesy. And then the girl is Katie, and that's Wayne's little sister. And she's like one of the Hicks too. But yeah, that's just a little taste. The hockey guys are literally so funny. They are so funny.
Wayne's my favorite.
Oh yeah, Wayne's great. But I don't know if you caught, but they're both dating Wayne's sister, like together.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It's like a 3-piece, and it's so
Yeah.
funny. Dude. It's so
She
funny.
wears the pants.
Yeah, dude, it's great. But yeah, I don't know. It's just real sad it took me this long to get to this show, but Like there are times where I'm like crying on the couch because it's so funny. But
I told Mike it's sad that he waited till like now to watch it, because when we're in the office, it would just been the best like annoying humor to throw around the office.
yeah, because we like sat within loud talking distance from each other, and we would always
Yeah.
yell things at each other, and that would just been crazy. Like
It just
"Ferda!"
would have, yeah, it just would have been a bunch of Letterkenny
Yeah.
references the whole time throughout the office.
You ready to go lunch, buddy? Hey, it's wing time, boys. Let's go. Yeah, I really missed out on that because I think even Crossland, who sat right next to me, was into Letterkenny. So it's just been a great like Letterkenny bullpen.
Yeah.
Would have been great. But I kind of liked showing that clip. I liked last week when we had Glow Home up on the screen. I think we're gonna have to incorporate.
Had Biosiv up the week before that.
Yeah, we rated we didn't raid his stream. I rated his one person rated his stream, but maybe hopefully 2 other people on our stream saw it. But yeah, so that I've been slamming Letterkenny and it's great. Hopefully I convinced some of you to check it out at least, if that's style of humor is something for you. Underfunded Scientist says that was pretty cool. Indeed it is. It's so funny.
I think he was talking about his game being on the show.
That also is cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool. I love having your game on the show. I love having you on the show, bro.
Somebody is so in love with Letterkenny that he just
Yeah.
thinks everybody's talking about Letterkenny.
Ferda.
He's like, I did such a good job.
I know. I convinced one person to watch it. Yeah.
Oh man.
Wow. That's just real kick in the knackers right there. But yeah, I don't know. You guys watching anything else? I think I've added The Expanse to my list and hopefully finish Chernobyl, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that one.
Yeah.
Well, maybe after the episode here, I'll either go watch more of Rick and Morty, the latest season there, or
Out of
more
left
Letterkenny.
field. Nick's
Or-
just like, oh yeah, Rick and Morty.
Yeah, throw that out there. I don't know, Letterkenny continuation, or
Hundo.
the problem is I don't have the same Hulu account. I'd have to figure out where I left off. Just gotta start from the beginning.
Yeah, just add
Yeah.
another 20 minutes, bro. Just and underfunded. He says lol. I'm sorry. For real though, I'll check it out. I remember you saying I should watch it. You could have just lied and been like, yeah, I was totally talking about that.
So kind of a continuation, I think, from our Comic-Con episode. I think I talked about Fear Street on that. I actually went and watched Fear Street.
Oh, nice.
And it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. If you're into
Is it scary?
any of the no, it's not. It's scary in the sense of any slasher movie you've ever seen being scary. So if that scares you, then yeah, it's horrifying. But if that doesn't scare you, then probably not gonna be too scared. But it's cool the way that they break the movies up, and each movie is a different time and kind of pays tribute to the slasher movies that took place in those times.
Well,
So you
nice.
get the first Fear Street is 1994. So there's a lot of, like, if you're a 90s kid, there's a lot of cool 90s references. There's a lot of references to Scream, including a literal exact kill from the movie. And then the second one is 78, I think, or 76, kind of pays a little tribute to the first Friday the 13th, takes place at a summer camp. And then the third one takes place in 1666, kind of flipping it on its head a little bit and going way back in time. And I don't really know what it pays homage to. I can't really. I don't know that I've ever
Agatha.
seen any movie, like maybe The Witch, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's Agatha. It's a reference to that. Her character.
Agatha Harkness.
So it's cool. Yeah, I like the way that everything's tied together. I thought they did a great job. I hope they continue it. I've never, I loved Goosebumps when I was a kid. Never even heard of Fear Street. Same writer. So it made me oddly intrigued to go read books that are probably way past my reading. They're like teen books, I think. But
Yeah.
Is this the one you said would have like a expanded universe or something like that?
Yeah, the director had mentioned something about like wanting to create a
Fear
Marvel
Street.
like
Yeah.
Fear Street
yeah,
universe.
yeah. I know that there's it gained quite a popularity the way that they did these ones, and there's a lot of books. So I would
Yeah.
imagine that they would have a cool little universe to build out, and it definitely ends on kind of a cliffhanger of sorts to see. I don't know that there is any plans right now to do it, but I can almost guarantee you that they're going to do another follow-up trilogy of movies or whatever. But it's just cool the way that everything's tied together and the different times and the different nods to slasher movies. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Slasher.
I clear my throat a lot, as most people probably know listening to this show. But I sometimes try to mute my mic, and sometimes I try to like Tezande my way out of the microphone range. And I'm just like, that's all I can think of every time I do it. I'm like, chocolate rain.
You're supposed to go behind your mic and do it.
True.
You just need that like mute button, bro.
I know. I always forget, and then I do mute it, and I still Tezande it. Underfunded scientist says Lamau, and then a nice quote here we might have to throw on a shirt or something. Then it's horrifying. Oh man, but yeah. Speaking of paying homage to things, there's a really funny episode of Letterkenny that is basically a straight parody of The Social Network.
Oh really? Yeah.
They create Fart Book.
Oh yeah.
It's a good one. Yeah. Hey, if you want to get 500 million farts, you're gonna have a few sharts.
I would venture
Mike's humor in like a bottle right there. Like if you were to capture it,
100%.
that's Mike's.
Yeah, it's great. Is that an Arbonne bottle you're drinking out
It
of?
definitely is. I have the same one upstairs.
Yeah, we used to have one of those.
Yeah.
This is the right amount of water for a Showboys podcast.
It is. It is.
As you can see, we're almost done.
Yeah.
I think in the earlier episodes, you might see me drinking out of one of those Arbonne cups, and then I upgraded to the PlayStation cup that I lost, and now I'm on a mason jar.
I guess we seem to be Arbonne sponsored. Get sponsored by Arbonne.
I mean, hey, if anyone needs any Arbonne stuffs,
Secret Lab.
Wife's getting back in the game. Just saying.
Back in the game?
Yeah, you want to get in on that, what are they called? Multi-level marketing.
Is there another M word after that? Multi-level marketing.
MMO of
MMO
pyramid scheme.
I was gonna say just we could just go with pyramid scheme. I think
that
would be cover it.
They got new ones these
days. I liked your multi-level.
Yeah,
trying to make a pyramid scheme thing.
Yeah,
multi-marketing yeah, sure. We're in need of some more fizz.
Fizz. She's a big lover of the fizz. Which I gotta say, just our today's sponsor, Arbonne Fizz Stick. I'm not a fan of really drinking water that doesn't taste like water unless it's hint water. I'm not a fan of like sparkling waters.
Yeah, no, not into it.
LaCroix.
Yeah,
basically, might as well just be drinking vomit in a can.
The only brand is good.
Regular seltzer waters, or even the other non-hint flavored waters. Which, dude, go get a hint water from like Sheetz or Giant Eagle. Grab the watermelon kind.
I've never even heard it.
It's just regular water that's infused by like fruit.
Yeah, I could get down on that.
It's not. It does not cost $4. At Sheetz, you can get 2 for $3. So it's
wow.
$150.
Whoa,
bro.
Whoa.
Sometimes at Giant Eagle, you can get them for 10 for 10.
Coal sale.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ramen. Right, ramen prices there, huh?
We totally got Coles, Nick and I, with something that we're getting soon that you guys will know about. And
for you guys,
totally aware.
Coles.
Yeah, I was totally aware we're getting Coles, but even knowing that, it still looked like such a good deal. I had to do it. But anyways, where was I going with this? Occasionally I'll choke back a fizz, and they're not that bad. You just gotta make sure you shake it up good enough, or else you're gonna be like choking on powder debris.
Well, yeah.
But
So it's
they
very
give you-
appetizing.
They do give you a lot of energy, which really, I mean, that's all you're drinking it for, right?
That's true.
I've
So.
seen people. I think it's a thing amongst like the Arbonne crew. You'll see probably Becca doing it once she gets back into it, but they dry shot it and then drink water.
Oh no, she's not an animal.
Oh my gosh.
She's a
That's
civilized
intense.
human.
That's
Oh,
like
oh,
For
okay,
now,
we gotta-
until she's back
okay.
in it.
Okay, so first off, Underfun said the first time I seen the mason jar, I thought you were drinking moonshine.
yeah,
that thought has
that's
crossed my
Chad.
mind
Yeah,
a couple
yeah,
times.
it's true.
And
Just
then
water, though.
Biosiv, the real thing we need to we get our hint water at BJ's, good price there. So you understand why hint water is so amazing. It's literally
like
so
one of 6 people that goes to BJ's.
good. Yeah, exactly.
No offense. No offense.
Dude, but like, and it's the perfect name too, because it literally is
BJ's?
a hint of flavor, like the smallest taste of watermelon in water. It's so good. But anyway,
That's enough to justify that over water.
yes,
Okay,
100%.
I got you. I hear you.
And they have
I mean,
tasty flavors. They have strawberry.
So we got
kiwi.
Arbonne
Yeah.
sponsorship. We got a hint sponsorship. What else we got here?
Any company that would ever listen to me talk about things probably would never sponsor us.
Yeah,
because
that's valid.
I'm talking about forcing myself to drink a fizz.
Yeah.
Like choking it back.
While coughing mid-sentence.
But hey, it gives you energy. So if that's what you want, then
Yeah, that's what
you
matters.
might as well buy it.
Yeah.
So Nick, I'm sorry, we're just never gonna get sponsored.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I think we already did, man. We got the hint. We got
Yeah.
Fizz. I got like an indirect sponsorship for Sam's Club when I talked crap about BJ's. So
Yeah, exactly.
there.
The
We're
old
getting there.
reverse psychology.
Yeah.
I've talked about
showing
Zevia a
the
lot.
logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick has the Secret Lab chair, which I would love to get sponsored, even if they don't pay us and they just give me a Secret Lab chair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Need the
really all I
Batman
want.
one real bad. Or no, I
Um,
sent you the League of Legends ones that just came out.
Yeah, give me that Cloud9 Secret Lab. Come on, boys. Even
Oh,
though
yeah.
my boys were very depressing this summer split. And really
Sad
kind of
boys.
embarrassing. Real big sad boys. Definitely not Ferda. No. But yeah, I've talked about Zevia a lot. There's a lot of potential sponsors.
We gotta send out some emails.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we should do that.
All right, good show.
Yeah. So thank you guys for tuning in and listening to us talk about absolutely nothing for the last 20 minutes. Oh man, there was something else I was gonna say, but it wasn't important.
Tune in this Sunday for the finale of the Bad Batch companion series. It's gonna be great. I can't wait to watch it tomorrow.
The last episode was so good.
So good.
Not of the companion series. That's garbage. But
Whoa.
Just
Whoa.
Damn. No, I'm kidding. I love the companion
Wrong.
series. It's
You're
such good
a jerk.
insight. You should
try.
definitely see. I'm bad at promotion.
Yeah. What happened?
You should
I
definitely.
can't even promote our own stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Next week on Showboys, no mic.
Yeah. Yeah, see, maybe that's why we're not growing as well.
Are you
as I
okay? Are you
hoped for
having a
this.
seizure right now? A stroke? Are you stroking out?
Maybe,
It's-
probably.
Yeah. I mean, hey, he could be because remember the squint from earlier? He couldn't
yeah.
do it.
Couldn't
Do
do
it
my
again.
right side.
Facial
see.
droop,
Just
man. You got
lost
the
all
facial
my
droop.
muscle in my yeah. But no, I was about to say the last episode of the Bad Batch was a really good one, and you should most definitely tune in to the finale of the companion series on Sunday. Should be a real banger. Big City Slammer over there. I was scrolling through Discord though, to be honest, because I was trying to see if anyone answered or asked the boys. Oh, we did. We had 2. No. Wrong channel, I'm sorry. We had 1, and it was Jordan, and it was him telling me that I better have season 1 of Stargirl on my list. So I hope I made you proud, Jordan, because it was on my list. And season 2 will be on my list too. But yeah, other than the companion series on Sunday night at 9 right here, what do we have? The newscast on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're right back here again on Thursday for episode 50 with a fun announcement that hopefully you guys will enjoy.
I'm gonna put
Other
Mike
than
on the
that-
spot and just say he's cooking up something real special for you Pokemon people.
I am. Which,
Now he has to do it. He can't quit.
yeah,
He
so,
keeps trying
dang
to
it,
quit.
You did what I did to you. Except,
Yep.
except
Came back
yours
to
is
you.
like yours
Easier.
is good and already done. Like I have.
Why it's not done?
I need. Okay, so quick shout out.
Shout out.
Anyone who can do video editing, please contact me ASAP. I have a lot of files to give you and a little chat we need to have for my vision, because the other night I was working on one segment of this video while Nick was playing Valheim and we were in Discord together, and it was over an hour for me to put together 3 minutes and 7 seconds of this
Wow.
video. And I have 6 more segments I need to put in there.
6 hours. Hey, it's a lot of work. I
It's
mean,
gonna be like a 10-minute video. I'm gonna
Mike.
spend like 8 hours making it.
Mike, running a podcast and a YouTube channel is a lot of work. If you haven't
I know,
noticed, like
but
the
I don't
art,
get paid.
video editing, like all the stuff that goes into this planning,
I know.
and you just sit here and talk barely. Like you're not even doing a good job with that.
I know. I'm about to get kicked off my own show. With that being said, we got a couple more comments. I almost got a mind control game input device to sponsor me once. And then Underfunded says, "You got this." I'm gonna take this as a.
That was to you.
I know
He
it's
was
not what-
encouraging you.
He's encouraging me right now, as in I'm not gonna get kicked off my own show. He also says that's super rough. Is it a lot of cuts? Again, I'm gonna take this in context of our last conversation. Yes,
Well,
it was 1,000 cuts.
I had to mute
right
there.
to my heart.
Oh, you
had to
muted? I was
mute,
like,
yeah.
how is he laughing so
Yeah,
silently?
Yeah, I
so
muted.
hard?
I muted. I haven't laughed that hard in a very long time.
Hey, that's what we do here. One time on the Falcon and Winter Soldier companion series, I literally made Jordan cry. Like he had tears rolling
I'm
down
there.
his face.
I'm there. Yes. there.
It was a goal of mine on that show, is because Jordan would always take a sip like in the middle of the show, and I would always try to make him laugh as he was drinking, because
Sip
he
it, yeah.
totally would spit it out, because he's really easy to like make laugh.
Yeah.
And I never got him to do that, but I did make him cry, which made me feel good. Biosib says Nick is a savage, and so true.
I'll walk it back. Just for context, Mike puts a lot of work into the show. A lot of work.
Yeah.
Arguably more.
Still
than
not
me,
good
maybe.
at it, but
Yeah.
I do a lot of stuff poorly.
That's what I'm here to remind him all the time.
Yeah,
of.
yeah. Underfront says, "My guy could try and edit for you." Oh, don't say that. 'Cause I'll
Don't say
never
that.
do it.
You just heard. You
Lamau.
just heard.
Okay.
You just earned yourself a job at Showboys.
Congratulations. Which, by the way, I know that literally the last half hour we've done nothing but talk nonsense. But in our 30-minute outro, I will throw out this out there too. Speaking of underfunded and wanting to help out, because he reached out about helping out with this, we are looking for some moderators for our Discord. So if that's something that piques your interest, message me or Nick in Discord, or even chat if you want to. Just let us know, because we're looking to add a few Discord mods, and we'd like to talk to you. So with that being said, we're actually going to end the episode now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you tune in Sunday at 9, Monday at 9, and Thursday at 9 here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing, liking, rating, reviewing, etc. It really helps us grow. On top of that, we just opened a Venmo for the podcast. So if for some reason you feel like throwing us $1 or $2, you can Venmo us at show-boys, and it would be much appreciated to help fund Chad's signing bonus for coming on to What's Watching instead of just the What's Playing. I cannot afford these guys much longer. And nor do I want to pay them because all they do is tell me how terrible of a host I am. So with that being said, thank you for joining us. And we will catch you next week. In the meantime, have a great evening and enjoy this lovely intro because you're going to enjoy it 50 times.
Mike
next
made
Thursday.
it. He does stuff.
That's true. I made this. Dude, is $30 a good price for 50 magnets?
Close enough.
Yeah.
Because they said originally it's like $90.
Ah, the
So
Kohl's discount.
I got the Kohl's sale, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Oh well, we'll just give them out for free.
Yeah. I don't know. Enjoy this little sneak peek. Bye.